Hello, hello. How you doing, man?
I'm good. How are you doing, man?
Good. I got Mike Murphy here, the creator of Longshadow. And we're going to be drawing one of your characters. So
that's
you
awesome,
two characters to choose from. And one would be really easy. Costume's really simple.
Right.
But we're going to keep this PG today, and we're going to go with the orc. We're going to draw an orc today.
Sounds good, man.
Yeah, I think that's going to be fun. So yeah, we'll get started with that here in just a second. So here's I have a tendency to... Sometimes I am ready, like I've already done a little work, but we're not going to do that today. We're gonna I'm gonna put in my reference here, and we're gonna work from scratch and see how far
I'm
we can
honored.
get working
Let's
from
do it, man.
scratch today. I like doing this because I like to prove that I can draw.
I get you.
You know. So what would be a fun pose for this guy?
People have been going for the more Robert E. Howard-esque aspects of Longshadow, like the action pose, which, I'm all about. But,
yeah.
There is the detective side of him as well, like maybe something noirish.
Yeah. Oh, okay. All right. So here's what I do. Sometimes I don't normally show this part. Okay. Sometimes I just like start off with pencils and just sketch out a little bit. Sometimes I work from shapes. So I'll just kind of blob out like kind of where I want the...
Yeah, that's interesting. I've seen a couple artists do similar things, but it's not too common. Like, like doing gestural stuff is usually how I see a lot of artists start off.
Yeah. Kind of work out how the shapes work on top of each other.
Mm-hmm.
And then we can play with the shapes. Move them. It's fun. It's a little more creative, I feel like.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of working out where that torso is going to sit. He said he does a detective thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I should reference Columbo. Oh, that would be cool.
There you go, man.
Let's find Columbo.
Yeah, this is This is an interesting approach I might have to try out on the rare occasion when I do actually get to draw.
Man, I remember Columbo when we were kids. My mom
Yeah,
and dad used to watch that all the time.
it was a thing that I had to. It was a thing that I had to grow into. Columbo was usually like the signifier that the cartoons were done for the day.
Yeah.
And like, okay, cartoons are over. It's time for me to like just go out inside and play until dinner time. It wasn't until like I was a teen where I was like, yeah, Columbo.
Yeah. I've always been into like that kind of stuff. So
That's
let's
cool.
try this. Let's do something fun.
Let's do it.
This is gonna get weird. We're gonna get weird, okay?
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna have another reference over here. And we're gonna do Columbo.
It's awesome, man.
We're gonna do Columbo. Let's get rid of those. We don't need those now. Those are redundant. Let's do another one. I'll go back to this brush. And so I mean, this dude's built. So we're gonna have this big shoulder there. His torso's gonna fit in here. Shoulder there. Big arm. Big orc head. Alright. Now, pencil. So tell us a little bit about the comic and what it is and all that good stuff. I've thrown the link in there already.
Awesome. Thank you, man. Yeah, sure. I'm happy to. So, Longshadow is my attempt to reinvent, well, not so much reinvent, but, modernize pulp and the history and legacy of pulp for modern readers. With all the stuff on our plate coming up from the Red Key to the Gods Fear Me 2, I kind of wanted something that could have a faster turnaround time than those projects because they're going to take the better part of a year plus to get into people's hands. And I started thinking about pulp and just the turnaround aspect of it, how fast it was, and I've had the character of Longshadow kind of in my head for the better part of like 10 plus years, because whether it's tabletop or like in a video game, Longshadow is always the character that I play as. So I kind of know this guy inside and out, and those two things kind of clicked into my head, and here we are, man, thanks to the amazing talent that is Jeff Lasley handling the art. So
Nice.
yeah, so Longshadow is, as we've been saying, it's a fusion of both, noir elements and fantasy elements. He is your new favorite ogre detective for hire. And like any good detective story, a dame walks into his office and presents him with a gig that, is too good to turn down, which of course leads him down a deep, dark rabbit hole of intrigue and mystery and putting both his physical and mental abilities to their test. And yeah, I'm really happy with how this book has turned out over the past 6 to 9 months.
So when will you be shipping this one out?
We were supposed to be shipping around like late summer of this year, but because of a whole bunch of stuff which I've talked about with backers and over on Twitter, people know stuff that's been going on with us in our personal lives. We've had to push it back to, we're aiming for late March, early April of next year.
Okay. I don't want to pry too much into things.
No, no, no. It's nothing that people don't know about. Basically, our lives got turned a little bit upside down this year. There's the biggest thing was we had to relocate from Portland to further out in the state because, it was just getting to the point where I couldn't guarantee, my family's safety. Things were getting really dicey whenever we'd step out, especially if we had to go into the city. That took the better part of like 2.5 or 3 months. Unfortunately, there have been a couple family members who have passed away, and we've had to help other family members deal with that stuff. And 2022 came calling, man, and a whole bunch of stuff has gone down for us this year.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of people are having a rough go with stuff. I mean, God knows it hasn't been an easy couple of years for me.
Yeah, of course, man. Yeah, with all that stuff, man, I always try to keep perspective, and it's like, well, look, things are kind of tough, but other people have had to deal with way more.
I know these just look like scribbles right now, but there'll be something, I promise.
No, man. I'm seeing it. I get, I'm picking up what you're putting down. I like it. So yeah, man. Aside from all that stuff, it's just been, working on Longshadow as much as time will allow, and it gave Jeff some extra time to really polish some of the back half of the book's illustrations, and it afforded me time to do a couple revisions on the manuscript, and I really think it's in a good place now. It's a tight standalone pulp novel, but it's also a really solid entry point into this whole Murphyverse thing that I'm trying to build up. And yeah, man, the book's called The Prince of Echoes. It focuses on this you could think of him as a parasitic take on vampires, where as opposed to blood consumption, he consumes the victim's very, spirit or soul, whatever you want to call it, and is then able to inhabit their shell. So, that's kind of where the detective work comes in, because when you're tracking down someone who can literally look like anyone else, it's going to be a good time, man.
Yeah, it does kind of create a problem, doesn't it?
A little bit. Nice work there on the hand, by the way.
Thank you.
I don't mean to sound like the stereotypical artist, but hands and feet are always my downfall.
Well, they're difficult. Even AI can't do it.
Yeah, right. I think that shows the human element that goes into everything that AI programs draw from. The AI is they can't do it either. I remember one of my teachers at the Academy of Art back in Chicago. He had this theory that the reason why hands and feet are so tough is because they're the parts of your body that you really spend the least amount of time looking at. He was like, people stare at themselves in the mirror, hundreds if not thousands of times a day, and that's why everyone likes drawing faces.
Interesting design on there. Do they mean something?
There's, they're ogre glyphs, and they're basically protection glyphs. It's one of the few things that he carries over from his people. Uh, Longshadow is a Longshadow is an ogre that's kind of stepped away from his tribe, and he's trying to acclimate himself into the world of man.
His ogre ways.
Sorry, I missed that last bit.
Said he's stepped away from his ogre ways.
Yeah, a little bit. He the way I always describe it is he looked down the road and he saw potential outcomes for him, and he could have been spending his life living in a forest, hunting deers and whatnot. He could have hung out in like an abandoned castle and waited for adventurers to come and slay him. Or he saw another way. And he's trying to, actually contribute something to the world around him.
So I use a fat pencil
Mm-hmm.
when I start doing this phase because I want to kind of just give the rough idea
Right.
of detail.
Mm-hmm.
Because then I'm gonna really tighten it up. You know what? I should give him a cigar. Does he smoke?
I have no objection to him smoking. I never really put much thought into it, to be honest with you. But yeah, go ahead. Give him something to chomp on.
I'm gonna shrink him down just a little bit. Let's get more of a full body. A little more of a cowboy shot going.
So I didn't get to ask, how are you doing, man?
Doing okay. Doing okay. Getting better. It's a journey.
Mm-hmm.
It's more in the likes of a marathon
Right.
than anything else.
Mm-hmm.
That's a furry cod piece. Fur.
Yes.
Okay. That just seems like a mess, doesn't it? Yeah.
No, man.
How am I gonna
Honestly, I'm
make
liking
anything
it.
out of that? Let's find out.
Let's go for it, man.
Oh, what size brush do I got? Too small.
Yeah, when it came to the design and look of Longshadow, I tried to incorporate a handful of elements from like all the different versions of him across all the different like RPGs I've played with him. So, there's a little bit of Pathfinder stuff in there. There's a little bit of D&D in there. You'll see some Skyrim stuff in there because I think Skyrim is really the last time that I heavily played as him in a video game setting, at least. So yeah, he's kind of a mishmash of a bunch of different elements.
It's been a while since we've talked. I think it was before I got
It's been
sick.
Yeah, it's been a minute, man. Like I think before all that stuff went down, we were maybe on like one or two streams together. I can't even
Yeah,
begin to tell you where.
it's been ages.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I feel like it's weird that we're kind of fast becoming the old guard in this whole scene.
God, yes. I mean, there's so many new people. A lot of
Yeah.
the other people that I knew, like I don't even see them around anymore.
Right. Yeah, man. You know, like I think about way back when we did we were crowdfunding Samurai and Dinosaurs, and
Yeah,
most of the people that like I was on streams with for promoting, like they're not even around anymore. It's weird.
yeah. A lot of the channels are gone too.
Right.
You know, like the people that used to promote, they don't.
Yeah, yeah, and yeah, exactly. I was talking to someone about that, and like it feels like the very nature of the game is changing a little bit. Like we're kind of moving away from this like QVC model of like just putting the product on display, and everything's just kind of becoming like hangout streams.
Yeah. That's part of the reason why I decided to do these. So I was
Right.
like, hey, can maybe help me out with this? And I mean, there's other people that do a similar format to this, but
Hmm.
you know, if there's a way that I can use my, you know, my channel and maybe whatever it is to help bring a couple eyes to the campaign, I'm more than happy to do that. I mean, look at all
Yeah,
the help
man.
I've gotten over the last several years. You know?
Right. Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's that's why I do, like just hangout streams on my channel whenever someone asks, and I try to keep it more conversational, and I leave room at the end of the show for a bit of shilling, but it's mostly like, hey, like let's just take this time to let the audience get to know who you are as a person.
I think that's what most of the audience wants, to be honest.
Right. Yeah, I mean, realistically, like speaking for myself as someone who backs a bunch of these projects. I feel like once you know a project exists, you kind of know within 5 or 10 minutes if you're going to back it or not.
Yeah, I agree.
And so, yeah, and so then it just becomes like, well, okay, let me see if I actually dig the people behind the scenes and what it is that they're trying to accomplish. So yeah, man, I don't know, it's an ever growing, ever changing thing.
Sometimes we gotta turn a layer back on.
It's weird to be coming near the end of the road with this particular project. Like starting the year off, not sure if people were going to respond to it because like while the while the history of comics is rooted in pulp, I wouldn't say that pulp is something that a ton of people are familiar with or maybe even necessarily into, because it is more reading focused. It's a hybrid of the two, but it is still mainly prose. And to start from there and like be ending here with like a solid backer base and working towards 8K before we close and seeing that as a realistic possibility. It's humbling to know that okay, there is still an audience for this stuff out there.
Oh, there definitely is. Some people really get it.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's always my thing, man. Like people say like what we do tends to be like really diverse in terms of like genre and format, and I don't know. I've always been like, look, I'm just trying to make stuff that I think is cool.
That's what I think we should be doing. I mean, that's comic books, right?
Yeah.
It's yeah. I hate it when people think that there's like some format that you have to follow. I mean, it's just comic books, man.
Right. I mean, look, I'm not gonna pretend to play dumb on the fact that like superheroes are still kind of the bread and butter. But obviously with the Red Key with Stefani, like I do have a superhero story in me, but I don't know, man. When it comes to what I'm a fan of everything. So I guess that's translating into my creative output. Like, I don't just want to create one type of thing,
Yeah. I'm finding myself in the same spot. I'm 9 books into a single franchise now.
Right.
It feels weird to call it a franchise, but that's, at this point, when you get to 9 books, that's really what
That's what it is, man.
Looking at. Yeah. And so it's interesting, being there and realizing I kind of want to create more. So we've got Rift Riders, which is kind of a different story altogether.
Right.
It still ties into my universe, but it's not the standard. It's this all ages sci-fi kind of adventure stuff. And,
right.
I mean, it got a pretty good welcome. So
yeah, man, absolutely.
It does. It tells me that comic books are. I think as long as you're giving variety to people, that comic books are going to be around.
Yeah, absolutely.
Everyone's always talking about manga and its success, and I think it comes down to that. There's just such a variety of it out there.
Exactly. Yeah, people, whenever the manga argument comes up, like, people just kind of use manga as a blanket term, but I don't know, I always say, like, yeah, but you have to dig into what it is in the manga industry that's actually selling, and if you look at it, like, no two books are really the same. Like, there's dark fantasy stuff in there, there's horror stuff in there, there's like the what is it, the Spy Family book or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Like, there's so much different stuff in there, and it just shows, like, I think one of the reasons why that stuff is so popular is because there's pretty much something for everybody.
And that's really what I think comics should take away from manga and anime.
Right.
That's what's making it successful, is the fact that it's got something for everyone. We need to be more diverse in our offerings, I think.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know what kind of rendering that is, but it doesn't look bad.
No, I dig it, man. Yeah, like I was saying earlier, I got like the better, like, I can hang for a while. I'm good.
Okay. I normally try to wrap up whenever the creator has to go.
Oh, okay.
Because I can draw this as long as I want on my own.
Right.
The whole point is to be talking to you.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Teddy, good afternoon. Welcome.
Hey. Yeah, like, we started at 11:30 my time?
I guess so.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm good till like 12:30, 1 o'clock, somewhere in there.
All right.
Yeah, man. On that topic, I look back to the golden and silver age, and sure, there's like a whole bunch of different reasons why comics used to be more popular than they are today. But again, I think one of the things that you can draw from where comics were as opposed to where they are is there was that thing of like there was a bit of everything. There were horror comics, sci-fi comics, westerns, romance books.
Huge variety. I mean,
You know,
comics
and-
really, like superhero comics weren't even the most popular to start out with. It was
No,
romance
no.
and westerns.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then crime.
So yeah, man, I look at what we're doing here in the CG/indie space and the crowdfunding space, and it just makes sense why like so many people are finding success. There's just this is where you can get something that isn't 99% of what Marvel and DC is offering, and for that matter, even publishers like Dark Horse and Image these days.
When in doubt, black it out.
Exactly. Yeah, I was just going to say the rendering on the gauntlets coming along. I like it.
Got my daughter's little dog in the back.
That's fine.
She's
Don't be
delicious.
don't be surprised if you hear singing. Clark, my son, has really gotten into drumming and singing along with songs.
Nice. I did not mean to hit that button. I guess I needed to see more of it
Mm-hmm.
without realizing I needed to.
Yeah, that's cool.
So do you have big plans for Christmas this year?
Yeah, we do. It's going to be nice. It's going to be, obviously the three of us, and my mom will be joining us, and yeah, we're just going to be huddled up here on the coast, and yeah, going to make a big meal. And it's going to be a nice 2 3 days of just, I guess, decompressing and
Good.
trying not to think about work, trying not to think about the year. It'll be good. Yeah. How about you? It's been a year, man.
Yeah, we're hoping. We're hoping to gather with family and just have a good time.
Nice.
We're not really into all the present stuff. We do it, but it's not like, it's not like the biggest deal to us. So,
Sure.
So that's not all about that. It's really just about, kind of getting together and hanging out.
Yeah. Yeah, no, same here, man. Especially now that, Clark's 4, he's really at that point of like starting to make memories phase. So
Yeah.
we're trying to make things as good as we can for him.
Still do Santa?
Yeah, I'm probably going to do the whole Santa thing this year, and like that conversation that was going around Twitter this week about like what to do, regarding kids and Santa. I think I have an exit strategy for when he starts asking if Santa's real, and I don't know. Like, it'll be interesting if I pull it off. Like, basically, I'm thinking of explaining to him that I'm going comic book on him. Like, the whole Santa thing is a mantle, and like I was Santa, and now that you know about it, now it's your turn to be Santa.
That's what I did with my kids.
Nice, man.
We're 13 and 20 now.
Right.
And it's Santa. It's the spirit of Santa.
Right.
It really was
right.
Saint Nicholas. And it's just the spirit of what he did is just carried on through the generations. Yeah. So Santa's real, and all you got to do is look in the mirror, as long as you've got the spirit.
That's cool, man.
The mirror is a devout guy, devout man of God. I mean, so devout he punched a heretic in the face.
That's true.
Now that's my kind of saint. What's your saint known for? Punching heretics in the face?
Right. Have you read any of Morrison's Claus book?
I have not, no.
It's interesting. Like, he pulls on a lot of that stuff, and even though it's an ongoing series, like he basically treats it like, Santa Year One. And I'm a big fan of Dan Mora. I don't know if you've heard of him. He's a great artist. So with him on our chores, like yeah, I'm a big fan of that series.
Turn out okay. So far, so
yeah,
good.
That's really nice, man.
This is not what I normally draw either. I'm telling you, we're real crazy with this one.
Yeah, that's true. Like, I'm kind of pushing things a little bit here, but I dig it.
We're doing a Orc Columbo tribute. Ogre? What do you call him? I've never done that before.
Yeah. I dig it. Yeah, when this is all said and done, if we reach our stretch goal at 8K to unlock that world guide book, wait, I should probably tell anyone that's listening. So if we hit our main stretch goal of 8,000, that's going to unlock an entirely new book. It's going to be a world guide to Longshadow, and the design of it is going to match the old 80s monster guides for D&D.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah. So yeah, I was just gonna say, if we hit that goal, I might have to commission this piece for you so that I could use it in there.
Actually, part of the deal with doing the show is you get to use this however you want. It's
Well,
all yours,
thank
brother.
you. Thank you, kind sir.
Yeah, it's meant to support the creators.
Well, if slash when we get there, this is going in. Once we get past the Red Key and God's Fear Me 2 next year, the next question I got to ask myself is, how is Longshadow as a franchise continuing? Because there's a part of me that wants to stick to the pulp format, but I've had a ton of people say like, it's cool, but just like reading isn't my thing. And I do have an artist who's interested in potentially adapting this to a comics. So I don't know, man, but there is a future for Longshadow one way or the other.
Nice. I like hearing that. This music's funky, isn't it?
Yeah, right.
I just kind of started at one end and I'm working my way over. I'm just like doing everything against what I normally do. Skip, nice to have you here today.
Yeah, that's kind of, again, when I get the chance to draw. That's kind of how I work too. Like I just kind of bounce around the entire piece until it's kind of done.
I normally lay down outlines and then work on the renders, but not today. Just rendering as I go. Like a rendering fool.
It's working for you though, man. I'm liking it a lot.
So far, yeah. Let's see how. We got a big year myself coming up. We're doing the finally releasing the RPG.
Nice,
It got
nice.
put back a little bit because of the because of the big nap. I
Right,
call it the big nap.
right.
And I've been very motivated since I woke up.
I can imagine, man.
You know what? That's gonna bother me because that tricep would extend more. Wouldn't pop like that.
Yeah, I've been meaning to ask you, like, how has it been designing an RPG, and how actively involved in the development of it have you been?
I really didn't do much for the development of it. It was Nick. Nick is very familiar with the with the characters in the universe now.
Yeah.
And so he was able to develop that entire thing. Most of the work was done while I was asleep, so
sure.
Yep. People kept trying to get him to, just to release the content somewhere else, and he's like, I have a contract. I was like, but he might die. He goes, but he might live. It's the kind of friend you want around.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, whenever someone brings up RPG development, I try to just like listen and pay attention. It's definitely something I'd be interested down the road, but I would want the system to be kind of like GURPS, so that it could be malleable to any type of setting. Because
that's what Nick did.
Oh, nice.
This is he built his own engine.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to fuel a bunch of different games.
Nice.
He's actually licensing it out to people.
Okay.
And so next year we'll be starting a company called Lockdown Games.
Mm-hmm.
And so we'll be, it's pretty exciting stuff. So there'll be a fantasy component to it, and a bunch of different stuff going on with it.
Right.
So yeah, pretty neat. He can literally put any universe into this.
Sure.
This system, because it's like very modular.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, in like a year and a half or so, I might have to have some speaks with him.
Yeah.
Because basically, like, I need something. Because I don't just want to build it off of one franchise. I kind of want to build it off of the entire Murphyverse thing. So I need something that's malleable for, like, superhero stuff. But also you could run, like, I don't know, say a feudal Japanese setting with dinosaurs off of it.
Not a problem for what Nick's built.
Yeah. That's really cool, man.
It is. Like, it's right in line with what he's got.
Mm-hmm.
What he's got built for. Yep. He's a real smart guy. Doesn't really promote himself the way that some guys promote themselves, because he's humble.
Sure.
But that's what I'm for.
Right. There's always got to be a hype man.
Yep. I told him, I said, you make the games, I'll make them pretty. And
right.
We'll sell these things. I like that sleeve. I don't even know if it's not really the kind of sleeve he's got, but it is now.
That's
took
fine.
Some creative.
Yeah.
Took some creative liberties there.
Yeah. Yeah, he's got like like an undershirt, and they're not pajamas, but like they're matching like shirt and pants set like underneath his main armor, but it's all good. He wasn't wearing it that day.
Yeah, I like the wrinkles in whatever this shirt is.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So yeah, what's going to be neat about Longshadow, the further into it we get, is I have the entire series planned out as 3 sets of trilogies, and basically my main inspiration from this was an idea that I had if I ever got to work on Fable, the video game series, I love that. In any way, which doesn't look too likely at this point. I don't even think Microsoft knows what they're doing with that thing. But basically, so the idea is, the kingdom of Elos, which is where Longshadow is set. We're going to be seeing it over the course of 3 different time periods.
Thanks, Marv.
And the way we're gonna do that is at the very start of book 1, Longshadow is cursed with immortality, so it's not really much of a spoiler. And what I really wanted to do was I kind of wanted to push the idea of what could be a fantasy setting as far as it could go. So, our first set of 3 books is going to very much be a traditional fantasy epic with, detective elements built into it. The second trilogy is going to jump ahead to kind of a modern fantasy setting. I always use Scotty Young's Middle West as an example. The idea of like it kind of sort of resembles the modern world, but there are fantasy elements built into it. And then for the third trilogy, we're going full Warhammer 40K.
Okay.
Because that was a thing. Like once I found out about like the idea of like, oh, there's not just Warhammer, but there's also this like far-flung future version of Warhammer, I got really hung up on that idea, and it's just something that I don't see a ton of creators explore. Like I'm blanking on his name, but the guy that does Blood Realm over at Alterna, he's playing with that stuff a little bit. So yeah, like Longshadow is going to be epic in the full sense of the word.
Nice. I got a book that's written and partially drawn. It's just been getting put off. It's an Armageddon watch. It's an alternate future for my universe.
Okay.
Yeah.
I dig it.
I say alternate because it can all be adjusted.
Right.
Choices. Just all matters of what your choices are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man, that's really what I want to see, again in this whole indie space that we're playing with. Like, I really want to see creators pushing genres and tropes further ahead than the mainstream is willing to do. I want to see fresh takes on fantasy. I want to see fresh takes on sci-fi. I like to think that what we're doing with Red Key is different from most of what's out there when it comes to superheroes. Like, I just want to see different, new, cool stuff.
Yeah. I would say Hybrids is not that different. It's Adam Lawson said it's the X-Men he wanted to read. I guess it's different in the sense that it's not what they're doing, but it's what they should do.
Sure.
Superheroes.
Yeah. I was just gonna say, like, look, man, in its own way, like doing something that has like a kind of retro contemporary feel to it is new and different compared to most of the junk that they're putting out.
I really like working digital because I can figure out my inks as I go. I don't have to just be locked in. I like just being free and carefree.
Yeah, I hear you, man. I don't know. Next year is also going to be a year I think we're all going to upgrade our workstation stuff and finally embrace digital work, because Lena and I are still just purely pen and paper.
Yeah. I like pen and paper. I wanted to get a new drafting desk for when I did traditional, but I don't do enough traditional anymore to necessitate making room for it.
Right.
Yeah. It's like, because I need room for shipping.
Yeah, I know, ain't that the truth? Yeah, I don't think most people realize just how much of a commitment shipping is when you're just like a small publisher of like one or two people.
Yeah. The stones definitely help out.
Hmm.
Yeah. Welcome, Dr. Crow. Dr. Crow's Carnival Comics. That sounds fun. We got Marv V here. We've got Immortal Rising. Welcome, guys. Skip Edwards is here. And,
Hey,
yeah. So we've got some folks watching.
thanks for hanging out, everybody.
We're talking about cool comics. Making cool comics.
Hey, it's what we do, man.
Being different. See what I did there? I have no idea where those straps are going to go. But I just did the texture, and it's going to tell me where they go.
Exactly. Yeah, sometimes I do the same thing.
Yeah.
Just a shape to indicate, like, here, figure it out.
Yeah. And I do this weird thing too. This is new. I didn't used to do this before the nap. You see what I'm doing? I'm pulling in to the stop instead of, like, normally you pull out into the taper.
Right.
I'm starting with the taper. You see that?
Yeah, that's interesting.
I don't know how I'm doing that. Like, it doesn't, my hand never worked like that before.
That's weird.
I didn't think I was going to be able to draw again.
Yeah, I remember seeing. I remember seeing you said that was a concern.
That was pretty jacked up.
Yeah.
And I still can't play guitar.
That's tough, man.
But it was. I just had my visit with my neurologist. He said that my healing is certainly not plateaued, and so he can't make a prediction on where it will go, but he says I feel very good about it.
Okay.
And when your neurologist says they feel very good about it, you should also feel very good about it.
So yeah, like if you don't mind me asking, like what is that process, or I guess more accurately, that lack of process? Like, what is it you're experiencing when you're trying to do something like play the guitar that your body's not allowing you to do?
My left arm went completely paralyzed.
Wow.
And it's coming back. It's coming back finally. But
Okay.
I still can't feel some of my fingers. Here, I'll just pop up on the screen for a second and show you. Let's see. I can't close my hand.
Gotcha.
That's as good as I get, and I can't curl this finger at all. I can't feel it. Can't feel that one. I can't feel that one. I can feel this one. This one. You see, the muscles are they're very atrophied, compared to this one. You know.
Sure.
Yeah. So this is better. It was just stuck like that, and now it can move.
Okay.
So I'm getting
that
motion. Yeah.
Yeah. So silver linings, man. Silver linings.
Yeah. So we're getting there.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah. A lot of effort. A lot of every day, working on it every day.
I'm sure, man.
Yeah. So I hope that soon I was able to pick up the guitar the other day and made some noise. My fingers fought me the whole time.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, baby steps, man. I'll take it. I'm glad to hear it.
It looks okay. It looks alright. I need to fix that. My mom would be so proud of me right now. Doing a Columbo homage.
That's cool, man. That's cool.
Yeah. She loved Columbo. Of course, I did too. I mean, it was... I really got into it. I don't know why. Little kid getting into that kind of stuff.
I mean, was it a... Yeah. And I think, I'm blanking on the actor's name, but, like,
Peter
he's
Falk.
just... Peter, thank you. From Columbo to, Princess Bride, like, Peter Falk is just such a... Like, he commands attention.
Yeah. I did not mark out those hands well enough. Okay, knuckle there, knuckle there. Knuckle there. Hands can be difficult.
They can be, man.
But I love drawing them. They were the hardest thing for me to draw for a very long time.
Right.
And so I practiced. I just kept practicing. So I wanted to be better at them. Now I can handle them okay.
I mean, look, honestly, like, not just fluffing your bacon here. Like, the hands are looking on point, man. I'm at the point where I'm ready for this year to be over. Like, I just want to get started with all the big stuff next year.
Yeah, I hear you. It's sometimes a little overwhelming, waiting.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm with you. I just want to get going with it.
Yeah, it reaches that point where you just feel like you're limping to the finish line, and it's like, all right, well, look, next year, bigger and better. Yeah.
Yeah, we got a lot going on next year. I think I have a total of like 13 things that I'm a part of next year.
That's
every
incredible.
Every month I'll have something out.
Cool, man. That's great to hear. And yeah, likewise, we're going to be doing double fulfillment. In April, we're going to be fulfilling both Longshadow and Deepwell. And late April, early May, we're probably going to start off with God Spare Me too. So,
nice.
Yeah, like the build up to that is going to be a crazy amount of work, but I can't wait.
Yeah, I just look at it this way. I slept long enough. I look at where everybody's at compared to where I wanted to be.
Right.
And people progress so much while I was asleep. I just, I get frustrated by it. I want to be, where my goals were.
I get you.
So, got to make my way back.
But as you said, man, yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, and at the same time, it feels like all the people that there was some people that, like you said earlier, that we knew in this community, in this part of the indie industry, that are gone. Don't know where they're at.
Yeah, I'll look. I'm not going to name names, but I saw I saw someone last night that we were on really good terms with, and I was convinced was going to be, one of the creators that stuck around for the long haul. And they are very much not doing that stuff anymore. It was a little disheartening just because I think the person in question is talented, but it is what it is. Like I get I get that for some people, as you said, like this whole thing when it comes to building a career is kind of a marathon, and a lot of people I don't think a lot of people are aligned to have that type of fortitude and
Yeah.
endurance.
One of my biggest focuses has been trying to elevate from, being a pinup guy or something. Pardon me. I got bad lungs still. It's gonna be a while before they're healed.
Right.
Um, but I want to elevate to, being a more than competent sequential artist.
Sure.
You know, but part of that is people got to know my name. You got to get your name out there.
That's the
And
thing,
it's
man.
hard.
That's the thing.
People's like, I don't know how to find an audience. Well, you got to just go out there and find one. I know it sounds really stupid and redundant to say that, but it's the truth. I mean, you put your stuff out there. You go to where people that might like this stuff are.
Right.
I don't use the hashtag very often because I want people to pay attention to my work based on what it is and not because of what I'm associated with. If that
Sure.
makes sense.
I get that. I get that.
Yeah. I want, I don't want people to buy it just because we align or not buy
Right.
it because we don't align. I want them just to look at the product. If you like it, then please buy it.
Hmm.
If you don't like it, then just please buy it anyway and then burn it. If you don't like my politics. I
Right.
still want your money either way.
Exactly. If you don't like my politics, still buy my book.
Yeah. Yeah. I still want you to enjoy the book.
Yeah,
See, then here I am doing
What's
this. And then here I am doing the out to the taper.
Hmm.
It's
Oh, I
weird.
see. Yes. Yeah. That is interesting, man.
I don't know
Human
why.
brain.
Yep. Brain's funky.
Yeah, improving on my art is something that I wish that I had the time for, but especially now that I'm 41, I'm making peace with the fact that I'm primarily almost exclusively a writer.
Mm, I get that. I turned 42 this year. And I'm still
Yeah,
drawing cartoons.
I know, right? Like I think about that a lot. Like, I don't know if you know who Jeff Gerstmann is, but he works in, well, when I guess video game journalism was a thing. Like that was his bread and butter, and he has this quote that basically says like, "I've spent the better part of my adult life doing this. To stop now would be ridiculous."
I can relate with that.
Yeah, like you have like the holiday dinners with family and everyone asks you about what you do professionally and you start getting into it and their eyes just kind of gloss over because it's not like working in an office setting or whatever. And it's not. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. It's just for a lot of normies, like this stuff is just kind of outside their realm of understanding.
Yeah. It really is. And I mean, just trying to tell someone, I used to be able to tell people I was a pastor, but I don't even do that anymore.
Right.
Like, this is it. This is the only way Luke makes money. And,
Yep.
when I tell people, it's like, oh, what do you do? I draw comics. They look at me like, oh, I'm sorry. I know. I really like doing it.
Right. Well, look, man, in all honesty, going back to, like we were saying earlier, like those days of like doing like a stream here and there together, I've known about your work for a while, and there's definitely, depending on how things line up over the next couple of years, there's definitely a project or two I think you'd be a good fit for. So we might have to have some talks down the road.
I would be game for it, my friend.
That's awesome.
All right, what's going on with his... Oh, that's kind of a neat pattern. Oh, shoot. William Pace is here saying, "Hail, nerds."
Hail.
Marv V says, we live in Portugal, the Memory Channel. Colombo is one of the shows that we can see. Highway to Heaven, Love Boat, Family Ties, Highlander, Original Mission
Awesome.
Impossible. Yeah, that's all great stuff, man. That stuff's so much fun. But yeah, I always loved Colombo. Like, he just something about it. It just...
Yeah, Columbo and Mission Impossible were my jams.
Oh, yeah.
I remember when the first Mission Impossible movie came out, like I was so angry that it was basically just a Tom Cruise project as opposed to like an ensemble thing, but it took me a while to grow into the idea of what De Palma and Cruise were doing with that thing, and nowadays it is what it is. Like it's a juggernaut that's been completely reinvented several times over.
Yeah. It's not the original.
No.
But I've said that about a lot of stuff. Like, yeah. It's not, but it's okay.
Yeah.
For what it's doing, it's alright.
Yeah. It's you just have to like give it that like old man pass. Like it's fine.
It's fine. Yeah. I feel like an old man sometimes. Well, back in my day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do my best to fight against that stuff, man. Like I hold to my principles where they're important. Like, again, with this whole like CG and D thing, like I do feel that what we're doing is important, and that there is a in air quotes correct and incorrect way to do storytelling and pop culture stuff. I do believe in that, but for the most part, man, I try to stick to grow up, not old.
Yeah. I like to grow old, not up.
There you go.
I just want to be... I like being a kid. I got excited about looking at toys yesterday at the Walmart.
What toys were you looking at?
Like some Nerf guns and this one thing that had a helicopter. It was really cool.
Nice. Yeah, since we've been dealing with the move, like for the past 3 months, like I haven't really had a chance to like dive into much toy stuff, but before we moved, I did manage to pick up a couple of those superpower remasters that McFarlane did.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that Superman and Batman and Flash. Like those are the three that I was like, yeah, those are going on the wall. Uh-oh. My son's about to come into the office and tell me that he just went poo-poo, so sorry to your audience.
That's fun.
Way to go, Clark. All right.
I'm proud of him.
I'm proud of him, too.
It was a big day.
Yeah.
Man, it was a big day. I mean, you don't even know, man. I don't like that. I don't know what I'm doing yet. I'm just playing around. Because the inks
Whatever it is,
done.
I'm liking it. Yeah.
Yeah, because the inks are pretty much done.
At first, I thought you were doing the whole thing of, like the like black and white blinds contrast in the background thing that you see in a lot of noir pieces.
I was kind of playing with that a little bit.
Yeah, yeah.
But I'm trying to do it with a little more grit.
Sure.
Get rid of this texture. Not all of it. Some of it.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go back to that brush and go this way. I know what I need. Litho lines. Yes.
All right.
And then we do another layer. And we do litho lines here. But then we
Very nice.
Then we eliminate the litho lines over here. clean up a little bit. That's what I need to do. Stop it.
Liking it.
So, I did a thing. Got myself a new tablet. I've got the 20-inch right now. I got myself the 22-inch for Christmas.
Oh,
it was
nice.
on sale for Black Friday on
Right.
Amazon. So, since I spent so much time at it, I was like, I'm just gonna do it.
And this is Clip Studio, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's my next hurdle, man. Like, I'm really gonna have to get to it and learn Clip Studio once and for all.
I like it. I prefer it over Photoshop now.
Yeah. Yeah, most artists that I talk to say the same thing.
I'm gonna start refining it now.
Mhm.
coming right along.
It is, man. That's I dig it. I think it's a really solid pinup. And I think I can safely say it's the first Longshadow piece that focuses more on the detective aspect than the warrior stuff.
Action poses are fun and all, but you know, they're just so common.
Sure. I mean, look, I love action poses, and as a lot of us tend to say, this is a visual medium, but sometimes you've got to establish the tone of a book, you know?
Yeah. It's fun music. I have to use that
I can
copyright
jam.
free stuff. But
Yeah, I
the thing
know, right?
is, I still get strikes for it.
Yeah, isn't that weird? Like the same thing happens to me. Like I'll go out of my way to find something that's royalty free that works for like when I'm putting together a trailer or whatever,
Yeah.
and it'll still get struck sometimes.
Yeah, it's just weird.
I mean, the worst is like when you're absolutely positive that you have something that'll clear, and you go on someone's stream and they play the trailer, and like an hour or two after the show's over, they write and they're like, "Hey, I got struck," and it's like, "Oh, damn, I'm sorry."
That's why I write my own music.
There you go.
I do my own like digital music stuff. EDM.
Go
and that
full
kind of stuff.
Carpenter.
Yeah. I don't have time to do it for a stream, but I do it for I do it for all of my trailers.
Nice. I was about to say we were going full chiptune with that one.
Yeah.
It's looking really good, man. Thanks again for doing this.
Yeah, that's no problem. It's a lot of fun. If I do all this, you can color it if you want, but then you don't have to. If you don't want to.
Yeah, I mean, so the world guide will be in black and white, but yeah, like I've been sitting here watching, and yeah, there's some color theory stuff I've got in my head. I might mess around with.
It's kind of a watercolor ink wash feel to it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Like, go in there, drop some solids, but like lower the opacity down on them. Like, yeah, I got some stuff in mind. Honestly, that's been the craziest part of this whole ride. Like, just coloring other people's work. Um, like I got to color Donald for the God's Fear Me cover.
Yeah.
And I colored the interiors on that, so I was coloring Christian Rossi. Like these guys who like of, and you just don't associate like your work blending with them, and then all of a sudden one day you're doing it and you're like, this is kind of cool. I didn't see my life going this way.
Yeah. It is cool though. Can't call it yet. Now I can call it.
Solid,
I
man.
think it's done.
That looks great.
Longshadow. Do I like the line weights? Am I happy with those?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is excellent. I dig it a lot.
I'm glad you like it. Guys, be sure to go check this campaign out. It looks really cool. It sounds really cool. And,
Well, thank you, man.
Let me grab my... Oh, can you throw your hot link in there?
I'm
private
on
for me?
I'm on my phone,
Oh, okay.
so I can't.
Okay. There it is. There's a link.
There you go. Thank you.
Yep. Check it out, guys. Make sure to give it a look. It's still on demand. It's got time to go. So, when are you going to pull it out of demand?
Yeah, I think we're gonna shut down the first week of January, is what it's looking like.
Yeah. So, it's coming up.
Yeah.
Not much time. Not much time left on this one. So go ahead and get a hold of it. Guys, look, an hour and 40. That's... Really?
It's not bad, and it flew by, man.
Yeah, that was pretty quick, actually. Oh, wow. I'm getting faster at these. I need to work that fast. All the stuff I'm doing, I gotta work that fast. So
Yeah, honestly, looking at it, it looks like a piece that is at least like 3-4 hours.
how can you
did
imagine
good.
if I spent 3 or 4 hours on it?
Right.
Might have to touch it up a little bit then. All right, well, that's been today's show. Thanks for joining Luke Draws Longshadow. Mike, it's great seeing you again and talking
Likewise,
to you.
man.
And good luck on the campaign. Hopefully you can get up there that $8,000. That'd be nice.
Yeah, thanks so much, man. It was a pleasure hanging out today.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll send you the high res of this thing so you can play with it, okay?
Awesome. Thanks a lot.
All right. All right, guys, you have a good day. Remember, build up more than you tear down, leave the wood pile higher than you found it. And by all means, do your best to be careful out there.